Ivanka Trump doesn't just live in luxury. Her closet alone is valued higher than most people's lifetime earnings. From billion-dollar fashion empires to private islands guarded tighter than military bases, her life redefines extravagance. But hidden beneath the glamour is a series of scandals so shocking it might permanently change your perception of America's first daughter. Ivanka Trump's lifestyle is the definition of unimaginable wealth, complete with private islands, luxury, mansions, and designer wardrobes worth millions. Consider this. Her Miami estate alone cost $56 million, nestled within an ultra-exclusive community nicknamed Billionaire Bunker. But Ivanka isn't merely a privileged heiress. She leveraged her fortune into an $800 million empire, making headlines in fashion, real estate, and even international politics. Yet amidst glittering success, controversies have continuously followed her. What if the flawless socialite we see attending glamorous events has another side, one she meticulously keeps hidden? Ivanka's story isn't merely about wealth, it's about power, privilege, and the scandals she's faced behind closed doors. Was her path genuinely self-made, or did the shadow of nepotism darken her achievements? This isn't just another story of riches and fame. It's an expose into Ivanka Trump's real journey, filled with ambition, surprising business tactics, and scandals that even her immense wealth couldn't suppress. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will transform everything you thought you knew about Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump might have been born with the proverbial silver spoon, but her ambitions exceeded merely inheriting wealth. By age 15, when most teenagers are grappling with algebra, Ivanka was closing multi-million-dollar real estate deals alongside her father. Her early exposure to business wasn't typical, rather, it was extraordinary. Ivanka attended Manhattan's exclusive Chapin School before transferring to Choate Rosemary Hall, a prestigious boarding school attended by future leaders and billionaires. She graduated summa cum laude from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School in 2004, not just following her father's footsteps, but exceeding expectations with academic honors rarely highlighted by media. Even more intriguing, Ivanka's modeling career wasn't purely vanity-driven. At 16, she signed with Elite Model Management and walked high-fashion runways for Versace, Thierry Mugler, and Mark Bauer, appearing on magazine covers like Elle and Harper's Bazaar. But here's a little-known twist. Ivanka abandoned her modeling career despite its lucrative potential. She openly expressed frustration about being reduced to a mere pretty face, revealing a powerful desire to craft a business legacy independent of her appearance. Unlike typical heiresses, Ivanka consciously sought challenges, even taking a junior role at Forest City Enterprises, a rival firm of the Trump Organization, to prove her worth beyond her famous surname. Ivanka Trump's early years were marked by an intense drive to differentiate herself from typical billionaire offspring. She was meticulously planning her future, not in socialite circles, but at negotiation tables, learning the nuances of high-stakes deals. Ivanka's trajectory wasn't about coasting on inherited fame. It was strategically building credibility within highly competitive arenas, a reality few media narratives ever captured. Ivanka Trump didn't merely inherit wealth, she multiplied it dramatically. In 2007, at just 26 years old, she launched the Ivanka Trump collection, quickly becoming a formidable competitor in the luxury market. Within just 6 years, Forbes reported annual revenues peaking at over $250 million, a staggering achievement even among seasoned entrepreneurs. Her empire wasn't limited to the United States. Ivanka's jewelry brand expanded globally, opening boutiques in affluent markets like Dubai, Kuwait, and Canada. While many celebrities lent mere endorsement power, Ivanka built a tangible business presence, capitalizing on high-end yet accessible luxury. Her signature products, ranging from diamond-studded jewelry priced between $5,000 and $50,000 to office-ready fashion lines, strategically targeted ambitious, wealthy women, aligning her brand with her own carefully curated image. Yet Ivanka's fashion empire was not immune to controversy. Reports surfaced in 2016 revealing labor issues at factories overseas, where workers allegedly earned wages significantly below the minimum standards. This expose resulted in immediate public backlash, spotlighting ethical questions around her global supply chain. While Ivanka publicly promoted women's empowerment, her brand faced accusations of hypocrisy, fueling negative publicity that would later influence her decision to close operations entirely in 2018. In a bizarre twist highlighting Ivanka's uncompromising standards, a rumor surfaced claiming she fired an employee simply for wearing competitor Louis Vuitton shoes to a product meeting. This incident, though unconfirmed by Ivanka herself, underscored her ruthless dedication to brand identity, demonstrating how seriously she took every aspect of her empire. Ivanka Trump's fashion empire wasn't merely a vanity project, it became a multi-million-dollar powerhouse, meticulously crafted yet riddled with challenges and controversies that ultimately reshaped her image. It's a vivid example of how business brilliance and personal ambition can become entangled in ethical complexities, influencing her later political choices significantly. Ivanka Trump's role in her father's presidency went far beyond ceremonial appearances. She became an influential force within the White House corridors without ever holding elected office. In 2017, Ivanka officially assumed an unpaid senior advisor position, immediately attracting scrutiny. She championed the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative, WGDP, managing a $50 million fund aiming to benefit 50 million women by 2025. Yet behind her diplomatic initiatives, controversies simmered. During critical trade negotiations between America and China in 2018, Ivanka received rapid approval of 16 trademarks from the Chinese government. These included businesses in fashion, beauty, and even voting machines, which raised alarm about potential conflicts between public duty and private gain. Critics argued Ivanka was exploiting diplomatic influence to bolster her financial interests, a criticism intensified by the timely nature of these approvals. Moreover, Ivanka's email scandal resurfaced old political ghosts. A congressional review in 2018 revealed she had used a personal email account extensively for government correspondence, echoing Hillary Clinton's scandal, which had previously dominated headlines. Though she faced no formal charges, the incident severely undermined her credibility, highlighting apparent double standards within the administration. Ivanka's political journey abruptly climaxed during the January 6th Capitol riot. A hastily deleted tweet referring to rioters as patriots sparked immediate backlash. The fallout was swift and severe, prompting widespread condemnation across media and social circles. Friends publicly distanced themselves, fashion elites severed ties, and her political reputation suffered irreparable harm. Ivanka's White House tenure reveals an intricate portrait of political influence marred by recurring ethical controversies, leaving unanswered questions about accountability, power, and the blurred lines between personal interests and national responsibilities. Ivanka Trump's luxury isn't merely a status symbol, it's a lifestyle inaccessible to nearly everyone else. Her primary residence, a sprawling $56 million estate, sits on Miami's secluded Indian Creek Island, aptly called Billionaire Bunker. The island houses just 40 residences, yet employs 14 dedicated police officers, providing residents unmatched privacy and security. Ivanka and her husband, Jared Kushner, purchased their estate for $24 million in 2021, followed by a $32 million adjacent plot to expand their domain. Beyond Miami, Ivanka previously owned a lavish $16 million penthouse at Trump Park Avenue in New York City, featuring panoramic skyline views. Her Washington, D.C. home, acquired for $5.5 million situated in Kalorama, neighbors included Jeff Bezos and former President Barack Obama. Each residence reflects her discreet opulence, marble finishes, cutting-edge security systems, and curated, private art collections worth tens of millions. Ivanka's transportation preferences further illustrate her luxurious tastes. Her fleet includes a classic Mercedes 220 SE Ponton, valued up to $200,000, and a GMC Yukon SUV priced around $70,000, suitable for family security and comfort. Notably, Ivanka's vacations often rack up extraordinary security expenses, with one weekend getaway to a Dominican resort costing taxpayers approximately $58,000 in Secret Service fees alone. Ivanka Trump's properties and luxuries epitomize her status, guarded by exclusivity, shielded from public view, and meticulously curated to define modern elite living. Ivanka Trump's carefully crafted public image repeatedly collided with explosive controversies that fueled intense scrutiny. Among the most severe was the Trump inaugural fund scandal in 2017. Investigation revealed Ivanka personally approved inflated event fees at the Trump International Hotel, charging the inaugural committee $175,000 per day, nearly double the typical rate. Washington, D.C.'s Attorney General sued, resulting in a $750,000 settlement by the Trump Organization in 2022, severely denting Ivanka's reputation. Further scandal arose when Ivanka attended a charity event dedicated to homelessness wearing a $5,000 designer gown, sparking widespread accusations of insensitivity. Critics accused her of flaunting wealth while supposedly championing disadvantaged populations. But perhaps her most damaging misstep was related to the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. Ivanka's tweet describing rioters as patriots triggered massive backlash. Despite swiftly deleting the tweet, the damage had been done. Brands disassociated, friendships dissolved publicly, and Ivanka's image sustained lasting damage. Her fashion business also succumbed to public outrage over alleged labor exploitation in foreign factories, where workers reportedly received wages below industry standards. Combined with ongoing ethical criticisms about conflicts of interest, Ivanka ultimately shuttered her namesake fashion brand in 2018. Ivanka Trump's controversies demonstrate the vulnerability beneath her polished public image, highlighting how quickly power and privilege can unravel under the weight of ethical and moral scrutiny. Ivanka Trump embodies a complex legacy, luxury mingled with scandal, ambition entangled in controversy. From multi-million-dollar fashion empires and private island estates to a political presence mired in ethical challenges, Ivanka's life remains fascinating yet polarizing. After experiencing unmatched privilege alongside significant public backlash, she stepped away from politics to prioritize family. But will Ivanka Trump remain behind the scenes permanently? Or is this merely an intermission before her next dramatic return? We've only scratched the surface. If you want more stories that cut through the headlines and show you what really happens behind the luxury, subscribe now.